Hey everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat channel, and today guys we are going to be talking about how losing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be just as important as winning in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! At first you may say to yourself, well, what? Did I hear you correctly? You said losing is more important than winning? Nah, I don't agree with you on that, and I'll admit, winning is important in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But when you lose in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You can take more away from that. You can learn more about yourself as a person, as a duelist, and how to become a better duelist in the long run. Remember, these segments we are talking about how to become an overall better player. And just these are my personal experiences, experiences from watching other players develop as Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, and just my thoughts. If you feel that I have missed something, please feel free to comment down below. Or if you want to discuss something, please feel free to comment down below as well. But yes, I know it sounds weird that I'm saying losing is more important, just as important as winning in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I'll get to that topic. First, let me say there's another way you could say this title. Learning from your misplays, learning from your mistakes. That's another thing you could say. Usually if you commit a lot of mistakes or misplays in a duel, you're going to lose that duel. Sometimes you do get lucky if you drop, say, multiple JDs a turn and you nuke the field and your opponent's just like, well, I can't establish field goal presence. I think I'm going to lose. That could be lucky. But what we're going to be talking about is how to become a better duelist. Always keep that in mind when listening to these videos. So let's talk about first how what you can take away from winning. When you win a duel, everything for the most part you're hoping worked properly. Many Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists believe that winning is the most important thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I win no matter what. But if you won, what you want to do is what it teaches you is your deck performed properly. Your deck performed to the what you believed it could perform to, the caliber it could perform to. All your cards flowed together. You got a good hand. Maybe you got lucky, but a lot of different factors of this nature could attribute to why you're winning, and that's what you could take away from it. You didn't make a lot of misplays. You made pluses. You activate cards at certain key crucial moments because of your previous experience, and things of that nature can all attribute to a win. But if you lost, sometimes you just didn't get lucky. You got a bad hand. I opened up a whole bunch of spell cards and no monsters, something of that nature. But most of the time, it's because you made misplays or you didn't perform properly. Or it can also be attributed to deck building, which we will talk about later on in this segment, but it also can attribute before the battle even begins. You made some crucial mistakes in your deck building, and that caused your deck to lose because you didn't put proper deck building skills into play. But that, like I said, that's a topic for a different day. But pretty much, if you lose, you can attribute your misplays, your deck building construction possibly, learning from your mistakes. You didn't learn from your previous mistakes possibly. You didn't understand the deck, how your opponent's deck performed properly, and you maybe didn't properly side deck your deck. Granted, there are some decks like E-Dragons in their prime that are overbearing to every deck out there in the game, but most of the time, most decks you face are not going to be super duper overbearing for the most part. There are exceptions like tier 0, tier 1 type decks. I don't like using that word, but you understand where I'm going from with this. But what can you take away from your losing? Misplays. Did I misplay? There are many times in a duel where I'll be playing and I'll say, I misplayed. I shouldn't have done that. That was a stupid mistake of me. Or I would say to myself, remember, never do that again. Remember that ruling. Or I didn't know a proper ruling. Like when Car D first came out. I didn't know Fiendish Chain did not affect Car D because Car D is a tribute. I completely forgot, and like you guys saw, I'm trying to learn from my misplays even when I'm playing on Dev Pro still. So you're always trying to improve yourself as a duelist. You should be striving to become a better duelist through motivation and things of that nature. But misplays. You misplayed. Were you able to play, learn from your misplays. Learn from your mistakes. That's the key thing. Learning to activate cards at certain key times. Not just wasting a dark hole for a 1-for-1. Using that dark hole when your opponent's on the aggressive mode, when your opponent's attacking you, when they're starting, to attack you. That's when you activate that dark hole. So you can destroy their field and maybe even summon a 2000 beat stick and win the game that way. using cards at the proper time to get the most out of each card you have, especially your floaters like traps and spell cards. Like I said, learning from mistakes is another key point in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you are attributing a losing. So you can try to improve upon that. Learning from your misplays, learning from your key mistakes. But let's talk about deck construction. Sometimes in a duel, if you're testing, especially a new deck out, or if you're testing a new archetype out that you haven't tried out, or a new deck building, or you're trying different things out in the deck, you're gonna lose some duels. And what can you take away from that? You can look at a deck and lay it out on the floor, which I do many times on days where my deck may have not performed well, my deck had a lot of losses. I can lay a deck out and say, what can I improve? What can I do to make this deck better overall? That's what I usually learn. Deck building, it's very crucial. But like I said, another topic for a different day, so I digress from that topic. But you can lay a deck out and say, do all these cards work together? Do they all flow together? Do they all achieve a main focus, a main goal? Do they all work together for this main objective in this deck to win? The main objective being winning, but do they all work to the main objective of the deck? It's like, say for example, in a Horus the Black Flame Dragon deck, the main objective is to get Horus the Black Flame Dragon out and lock your opponent out of their spell cards, as well as getting Royal Decree or Solidarity out. Does it work to that main objective, getting Horus the Black Flame Dragon out? Do you understand where I'm going with that? I think you guys understand. Also, if you lose a duel in a match or in tournament, maybe you didn't make the proper side decking calls. Maybe that's why. And so you can improve your side decking from losing, because you can say to yourself, so this is where a lot of the people play around here. If I go to, because I play at two different places, like two different locals sometimes. So I can say at this locals, this is the main things they ever play. And at this locals, they play a completely different way. So these are the type of decks I'm going to have to watch out for in both places. And from losing duels, you can learn about that. So you can learn from your mistakes. When you lose a duel, you can learn from your misplays, learn from your mistakes, and try to improve upon those so that doesn't happen again. You learn about deck construction. You can learn about how your deck functions. Does it work towards a goal? And you can also learn from your mistakes, and you can learn how to properly side deck for certain places you play at. Plus, it teaches you more about the main meta. So that's some things you can learn from losing. Do you feel like I missed something, guys? I probably did miss something. But what do you think? Do you think there are some things you can take away from losing that you can from losing? And that it's just not all about winning. Because when you lose, you can learn more about your deck and how to properly construct it also. So guys, till next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. I hope I explained this as best I could, that you can learn things from losing, and it's not just all about winning. So guys, do you feel like I missed something? Tell me down below. I look forward to discussing this video with you guys. Take care, everybody. Seto Kaiba, I'm out of here, guys. Till next time.